If your heart is filled with any amount of pain, then there's something you need to see on Maundy Thursday. Now, there are a lot of things that we can see on Maundy Thursday. On Maundy Thursday, a lot happened. So much of the Gospel of John, so many chapters are dedicated just to sharing what Jesus taught his disciples as they were celebrating the Passover together. Then, of course, during that Passover meal, after the disciples were arguing about who was the greatest, Jesus washed their feet. And then he instituted the Lord's Supper. He told them to love one another as he has loved us. During that dinner, he warned Peter, "You're going to deny me 3 times before the rooster crows once." He even warned Judas, assured him he knew what he was about to do. He tried to stop him. And then after the dinner was done, they sang some hymns, and then Jesus took some of his disciples to the garden where Jesus spent some time praying. A very deep, painful, anguish-filled prayer when he was talking to his Father in heaven, where he famously said, "But not what I want, but what you want, Father." He asked his disciples to stay awake, but they fell asleep. But then Jesus woke them up as Judas came to betray him, to do exactly what Jesus knew was coming. And there was a lot of pain in all of those things. I mean, just think about all the pain involved for the disciples that took place. There was the pain of regret after the disciples had been arguing about who was the greatest, of suddenly seeing right in front of them a perfect model of how they should really be the opposite. There was Peter's pain as the rooster crowed, and he realized that he was nothing close to the man that he once thought he was. There was the pain in Judas' heart, the pain of realizing later on that there are consequences to our poor decisions. There really are. And then there was another pain, the pain that compelled the disciples to run away as Jesus was arrested, the pain that comes from seeing something happen that you never saw coming. Something like that happened to me this week. I guess I can't say I never saw it coming, but I wasn't expecting it this week. I got news this week that a dear friend of mine died, and I didn't see that news coming. He didn't die from coronavirus or COVID-19, as far as I know. He died from one of the many other ways that human beings die. And that highlights a hard truth about life, that it's always filled with pain. The pain of death, the pain that we have as we go through life, the pain in our hearts that are filled with regrets. And where is Jesus in the middle of all of that pain? The one thing I want to draw your attention to on Maundy Thursday is to a single word that Jesus spoke to Judas. When Judas walked up to him in the garden, ready to betray him, Jesus addressed him. He said, "Hello." And do you know what he said next? Just a single word. He said, "Hello, friend." Hello, friend. He called Judas his friend. And he showed us something so significant. What kind of friend we have who is journeying with us every step of the way through life. One who is determined to be there for us and to be our friend no matter what we've ever done to him. One who is determined to be our friend no matter what it would ever cost him. And one who was about to become the greatest friend of all. The one who is going to defeat every enemy in our lives that causes us so much pain. On Good Friday, he would defeat the enemy of our sin. On Easter morning, he would once and for all defeat the enemy of death. And if our Jesus walks with us through life and has defeated even death, then what other pains do we ever need to be afraid of? There are none. Rest well tonight, my friends, knowing that you already have the greatest friend of all.